Yeah, just back doing this, trying to make this work, and just thinking about this design some more, and the progress and how much more we got to do. But for example, or by way of discussion, that I started thinking that at some point we have to check for words. And we have to check for them by having a dictionary of them, making sure that they're all 5 letters, and the thing has to be fast loading. So I put here ispell, and that's actually something that you can find if you have brew here. You can search for this utility, and what it does is it's interactive spell checker. But what I like about it, when I was reading about it, is that it comes with dictionaries. It comes with dictionaries, because right now there's no dictionary in Mac OS, which sort of surprised me because it's supposed to be Unix, but for whatever reason it doesn't have that. So if you look at ispell, let's wait for this information to come up, but when you look at this thing, you learn that it has a dictionary, and from that I'm sure we'll be able to come up with a way to chop up the dictionary and store it. Pop that into here, show you what I mean. So this is something that'll come maybe towards the end of the programming of this thing. We're still doing the letter, but yeah. Let's see. There's something here. Yeah. Where do I get the dictionaries? ispell comes with American and British dictionaries, so that's something that we want to use. I'm pretty sure we're going to want to have it, and anyway, that's something that we're going to be looking at maybe towards the later part of the programming. I also updated the slides a bit so that you can see the title. I put titles here. So here's the letters. This is where we're at right here, implementing this letter, and then at some point we're going to implement this guess row. I might name it letter row. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that. I like guess row better. I might change my mind tomorrow. Then we have the game loop, where we're going to actually do the work. And of course, somewhere in here, obtain 5-letter guess. We got to put, this is what made me think of it, we got to add a step here. Prompt. That's one way to do it, and again, it's something I was thinking about. I was thinking also about the algorithm for determining if this guess 5 letters was in the word, but I've been thinking about it. It's a little, feels devious to me, and again, I haven't worked it out on paper, but so and a couple of other things that I've been working on or pondering. One of the things that I discovered offline is that in Xcode, you can go into the repositories and click on the individual branch that you're on, and when you do, you could see your commits. which I think is pretty nifty. I'm always looking for, well, I shouldn't say I'm always looking for, but I'm always intrigued to different visualizations of commit history in Git, and this is one of them. And if you double click into this, like for example, I'm going to add this here, you could see the changes for this particular commit. And if you click into the file, it shows you the difference. So that's some nice utility. That's some nice utility. So that said, where are we exactly here? If I close this, we just added a test that something is a letter, and I think what I'm going to try is just go back a little bit into the beginning part where I'm doing stuff in Vim and on the command line with the Swift command, just to remind us that that's where our origin was, but also because it is slow with Xcode. So I'm going to give this a try anyway, and maybe it'll be an excuse to break out some Vim plugins or something like that. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new window in tmux. I said before I'm a fan of tmux. I have this open here, but I think I'll just rearrange it, and I'll just point out you can move windows around so that, like, if I want 2 to be where 1 is, I can do something like this: move window where the source is number 2, and I want to put it at target 1, but it's in use already, so I really have to move 1 to some spot here, which is, maybe I'll put it at 3, for example. So now I have 0 and 2 next to each other, and I can go back and forth between the two. Anyway, that's how things used to work for me. Now with fancy tools like this, it's way easier to navigate between files. But for the session today, we're going to add a bunch of tests and a bunch of functionality into here, and I thought, let me just go back to the beginning way of doing things. And let's go open these files. I think I'll do it sources. No. Yeah, letter. Yeah, so we have this here, and we're also going to open up the tests. And already you might be thinking, boy, I wish he'd go back to Xcode. But let's just try this here. I'm gonna expand this a bit, and again, we probably don't need to be in here for too long. But what I want to do though is clean up some of this test file. I'll put some line numbers here, but I was never happy that it had all this boilerplate functionality that I wasn't using, like setting up with error and tearing down with error. I'm not using this, so I'm just going to get rid of it, and I'm also going to get rid of this example and also this performance example. I'm not using this, so just to slim it down a bit. And then this is the workflow I wanted to see. I wanted to do Swift test. Let's just see how fast it goes. Ugh. All right. Man, maybe it's still slow. Yeah, no, it feels a little faster. I think if I was doing this in Xcode, it would, I don't know, I'd probably still be sitting here. Great. So the tests are good. So we have a workflow, and let me go and see what files have changed. We can do that here. You can see, oh, some swap files are here. So right away we gotta add that to our gitignore. We'll just put that right in here. So now the swap files are not seen anymore by Git. Now we didn't have this because I was doing everything in Xcode. Let's see. Let's just add this in here. This is just, again, this is the kind of busywork, kind of warm-up task that will hopefully get me in the mood to continue with the rest of it. And again, doing a lot of stuff offline. I'm curious too if this updates. See this window here? I don't know if it's updating in the background. Actually, I think it is, because I looked up that screen. I'll show you that in a second, but so let's see if it adds that commit into here. Yeah, there's some indication here. Yeah, it's one commit ahead. Doesn't seem to be an editor, history editor help. Yeah, let's see the help file. I thought there would be a way for it to show me this commit that I just added here. Okay, maybe I'll explore this later. What I was hoping to see was that this be updated automatically, but check this out. If I look at the preferences for Xcode under source control, there's refresh local status automatically, and under Git, oh, that's cool. That's good to know that it was set up there, but I know where that's set up on the file system, so this isn't super necessary for me, but it's good to know. But it was this that I was interested to see, and I was hoping that this page would get refreshed. All right, well, that was a bit of a diversion. So let's see what we've changed again. Oh, right. Yeah, what we've done is removed a lot of boilerplate, or not boilerplate, but functions that were added by Xcode, and well, we don't need those. Yeah. I'm going. removes Xcode-supplied functions. I was going to make some pithy comment, but can't come up with any. So this is all warming up. So what we're going to do is we have a character here, and we can test that character that's entered is a letter. One of the things that would be cool is one of the things that we know we're going to need to do is to print the character, to return the character. Now we can get that just by using the my character .char, which is the name of my property here. Because it's public, I can access it immediately. But what I need to implement is these properties. Is the letter in the word? Is the letter in the correct spot? So I want those to be properties that I can manipulate, and then by looking at them, I'll print the letter a certain way. So right away I know I'm going to need two properties. Oops, not this. Boolean, and I'm going to say let me see what I put here in the prior work here. Let's see. Now, I mentioned yesterday I'm doing this offline, working on code, and because I'm doing it offline, I've been able to move faster. I'm also not doing a live stream, and this is that project. I'm just looking at what I did before. Yesterday I was doing this work in using git log, but here this is what we're going for, and you can see I already made a mistake. It's supposed to be Bool with a capital B. So let's see what the compiler does with this workflow where we're not in Xcode. So we'll see how this prints, and can't find the type, which makes perfect sense because there's no such type as Boolean. So we're going to put in Bool, and where do we find these? We find these here in the standard library. At least I hope we do. Just did a search. Yeah, Bool. Interesting, it doesn't lead with it, but it'll definitely be here in the language. Hopefully there'll be a language type, but now I'm getting some errors here. Yeah, okay. Collection types. Yeah, but what about a Boolean type? Okay, yeah. So we got these, and a little confusing. This is the prompt right here. So it's all the lines after this. There's some errors because I've returned from the initializer without initializing all the properties. So I think I can solve that differently by initializing them here. I'll just clear the screen too so we can see what we're doing. This workflow feels slightly faster, and maybe I'll be able to get a little further with this workflow, at least with the logic getting code in. We'll go into Xcode again. Don't worry. I'm convinced it's helpful, but in terms of speed, the editor on the command line and just compiling with Swift seems faster. So these are the properties, and you can see that they're set to false. So right away, using TDD, test-driven design, we can just confirm that. So I'll make a new test here. Test that letter has default props. I'll put in a letter here, G, lowercase. That's going to be, that'll be a point later. Now, here I don't have XCTAssert true, but notice I have here the REPL. I can do XCTAssert and then tab. Oh, that did not help me. Yeah, this is not helping me. I'm gonna have to yeah. So the REPL, I was gonna show off that the REPL is a great substitute for Xcode because it has command line completion, and you could search for things in the REPL, but clearly not. I know that XCTAssert false exists, so I'm going to look at inWord and car is inCorrectSpot. So you can see we're building this up, and let's see if this builds. Well, I mean, this is going to build. There's nothing to build, so let's see if this runs a test. And one thing to point out is I can run just a specific test by saying filter and giving the test LetterTests. So I say LetterTests, and it'll only run the tests that are in that file. There's, I'm sure, other filters, because you can do yeah, you can specify it certain ways. So okay, character has no member in Word. Ah, very interesting. So this error is saying there's no inWord in the character. What is character? Character is of character type. The inWord and inCorrectSpot are properties of the letter type. So this test needs to be changed to this. Let's run this test again. See if I got it right. Yeah, looks good. And I think what's cool with this is, first of all, it's faster, but what's not cool is you have to kind of squint to see that this executed with 0 failures. You kind of have to look at it carefully. At my day job, I'm programming in Node. We're using Jest for our testing, and on the terminal it has some really colorful output. Swift does not have that, which is, maybe it does in the future, but the tooling that it has for the command line, it could be a little more, it could have a little more pizzazz, coloring the letters and adding some graphical touches is cool on the command line if you're going to commit to doing stuff, and at least that's what we're doing for tonight anyway. Now I'm going to prove that I can change the property. So that's so let's commit this. Let's see, status here. Oh boy. So let's look at our changes. We've added 2 properties and made tests for them. Yesterday I said we should do these tests and source code changes. We could commit them in one commit. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I don't have to do it this way. I can just do something like git add, I think A, but it's just a habit. I also don't want to bring in a file that I don't want to add. And this is something I do just so I can remind myself what I'm doing. Okay. inCorrectSpot. Properties. And let's see if this is 50. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put them in here. So we already have some commits. I think one of the things that's compelling about the commit thing is you could see the changes in, say, the last 24 hours. Oh, this is yesterday. But it'd be cool. I wonder if I can just do I can't do something like since. No, it doesn't have that. Is this going to give me anything? No. Yeah. So in Git, you can look at commits. You could say since 8 a.m. today, and you can see these are the changes that we've done since I started working now. I think you can even do since minus 2 hours. Oh, that didn't work the way I thought it would. Anyway, I'm surprised I can't express last 6 hours here. I just have these hard-coded ones and no other option to. Maybe this? No. Okay. Okay, so the last bit of functionality that we'll want to do is we want to print the letter and adorn it with the indication if it is in the correct spot or in the word. And for that we'll have to do a little bit of logic. So I have here this class. Let's just focus on this file here. Just copy this, and the thing, the reason I'm doing it on the command line or in Vim is simply because if I just type this here, Xcode is all up in my grill about, hey, that's a mistake, and it's like, okay, well, I know it's a mistake. I'm just editing a file, and I think with Xcode, there's no way to really tell it to relax. And I'm on a slow computer, so it's a little worse for me because there's a little delay. And anyway, it's a subtle thing, but it's something that I thought about. That's why I'm not public. I'm going to say letter with status, and we're going to do some logic here that I've already come up with, but it's straightforward. It's something like this: if in Word and inCorrectSpot, we're going to say, we're going to print this using, we're going to return, let's say we're going to do this. I'm sketching this out. We're going to return plus. So we're going to do something like that. Except you're gonna see. I mean, we're fast with the editor, so we're gonna be able to come up with these cases here. There's 4 of them, but repeating this here, it's a little wasteful. What we can do instead is shortcut this and just say that the surround character that may be a mouthful. Let's make it surroundChar. And let's make it by default this, and then we're going to say the surround character is equal to plus. And then what that will do is when we return this thing, we're going to say return surround character plus the letter, which is this. That's it. That's some programming right there. It's small things like that, little refactorings and niceties that make the what you're trying to express a little compact. That's cool to look for. So let's see if I can get this right in here. First, get rid of all these. Put these here like this. And there are 2 conditions here. You have inWord, inCorrectSpot, and both of them are either true or false. So you have 4 combinations. inWord is true or false, inCorrectSpot is true or false. So we can just do these combinations. If it's in the word and not in the correct spot, we're going to say the surround character is here. And if it's not in the word and not in the correct spot, we're going to say that it's here. And if it's not in the word but in the correct spot, so this is, I'm going to make a note here, this is a nonsensical, kind of a nonsense situation. And again, I've been doing this offline, so I've been thinking about this, that the 2 checks that we're doing are actually 2 different things. And here I am combining the 2, but I don't know, maybe the creator of Wordle, Jeff Wardle, I think that's his name. I think he must have come up with something a little more elegant, but elegance comes with a little time to think it through. But for a first pass, I think this is good. We do recognize that if you're not in the word, there's no way you can be in the correct spot. So this is a non-situation. And because of that, we're going to say this. Basically, anytime you're in the correct spot, but you're not in the word, that makes no sense. So, it's leading me to think about a certain logic that I should be doing. But anyway, let's see if this builds. Expected the function keyword an instance method declaration. So I think that's just as simple as func. And that's a syntax thing, and yeah. Now you cannot convert value of type character to the expected argument type of string. What? That's leading me into some puzzling territory. Now I'm looking at what I did before. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did this. Yeah, it's a character, all right. Did you mean to add a return type? Unexpected. So I think what I can do to fulfill it is cannot convert character. I think I'll have to do, I didn't do this before, but I'll have to think about this. I think I can do this, and I'll, oh, you know what? Okay, one check at a time. Let's do this. Because I think maybe what I have to do is change the surround character. Yeah. Now it's saying unexpected non-void return. Yeah. Did you mean to add a return type? So this is simply saying, hey, you're returning something, but you didn't say that the function was going to return something. So that's what we got to add here. That is done with this funky syntax. And again, I've been learning offline some Swift. Yeah, it looks good. I now want to think that I could have done this. I think I could have done this. I think this. Let me just do this build real quick. See if that was enough. No, it does need to be. One thing. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this. I'm going to put this back as a string, and one of the things though that I wanted to do was if I had a string, I'm going to put here a letter K. Ugh. Do I have to do it like this? Okay, so I have here string. I want to do something like, I want to capitalize it, and I think I can do upper, yeah. Yeesh. I see it right here, uppercased. Brother. Upper case. This, I think Xcode has this a little beat. So because what we're going to do is when we play Wordle, people are going to enter their characters in with lowercase, but what we're going to do is display it with uppercase. So I'm going to try to add uppercase in there. I think it was that. No? Uppercase. Not camel case. And let's see if this builds. And then if this builds, then we're going to do a quick test. Right. So now we go here. We have a function, letterWithStatus. It's going to return a string. And even better, it's going to return a string based on its current status. So we got a lot to test already. And what we'll do is we'll do something like this. Test default letter status. We're going to put in a letter K, just like we did here. We're going to assert that. And here we're just going to do an equality. We're going to say my letter. I already don't have my. What's my function name? letterWithStatus. letterWithStatus. Oh my goodness, look at this. I even have here this argument. I don't need that. I'm not using this my letter at all. And this is something that I think Xcode would have told me about. In fact, let's just go into Xcode. I'm surprised I didn't get a warning actually. Let's look at Xcode. Let's see what it would have done here. This is the file that we're doing in the editor, and I just created this variable C, but it's not. I'm amazed. It's unused, but it's not complaining about it. That's yeah, I didn't expect it would do that, but that's fine. Take a quick break from thinking about this. I actually thought that I would get a complaint here, but we clearly don't need this character. So and then if I were to do this test, let's see what it does. It should fail miserably. And there it is. I'm missing an argument for the parameter my letter. The letter with status my letter is declared here. And notice how this syntax with the argument label is inside of the function parameter. Of course, that's where it would be. That's, you could see that all over the place in various syntax like this. Print, separator, terminator. Now I understand why we have the colon and then the label. But so anyway, to fix this error, I'm going to get rid of this part here. And then we do another test. Let's see how far we get with this change. Okay, yeah, good. This is good. See, it says here, test case, default letter status, it failed. See, what's interesting here now is, like, what was its failure? What did it return? I think let's look at the test. I think I have some idea. Yeah, right, we forgot the, we have the surround character. The default surround character is a space. So the test has to be written like this. And notice it's a capital K. So if I rerun this test, we'll hopefully see it work. And if it does work, then we're just going to call it quits tonight. Did a lot of coding. Yeah. So now it passed. And now we can add, well, let's see, we got a few more things here. Yeah. We've added this. Oh, see here, this is another reason why I want it to be on the command line. See these spaces here? This red? That indicates an extra space when I entered in that brace around surroundChar. So I'm just going to get rid of those. I like to make my diffs clean. See, so now it's clean, and right. So what we're going to do, I guess, now 47 minutes already. What we're going to do is I'm going to add a few more tests to do the other states, the 4 states, and then yeah, we'll add those and then make sure that they pass, then give it a run through in Xcode. So let's see how far we get on my own. I'm going to add one more test. Actually, about 3 more. Pick a letter here, G. It's in here. We want it to print this. We'll do an iteration. Oh boy, did I lose that already? Okay, so we have a failure. Let's go figure this out. Test letter inWord only. So if it's in the, oh gosh, I think I know what I did. If you want to indicate that a letter is in the word, something has to change in the letter, and that is its property. My letter inWord is equal to true. So when we get to here in letterWord, the letter, the guess row rather, the guess row object, which is composed of these letters, the guess row object will set the letters accordingly. Will set the properties of the letters accordingly. I mean, don't make me draw a flowchart. I don't know if there's a way to do that in Microsoft in Mac Keynote. Probably a way to do that here. Shapes. say flow chart. Yeah, so they do have some flow chart type things here. Anyway, I'm not going to do it here, but that's what's going to happen. So the guess row is going to control what the letters are set to. In fact, I'd argue that no, you want to be able to read these. You want to be able to read and get these, so they have to be public. That's what we did, right? Yeah, we made these public. There may be a better access for this, but really the only people who can change this are guess row. So anyway, let's run the test. 4 tests with 1 failure. So let's see. Feels better to me that we're on the command line again. Don't worry, we're going to be in Xcode. Yeah, okay, good. So let's do the rest of these tests the right way. Pick another letter, H. Oh, brother. inWord and CorrectSpot. That failed. inWord and inCorrectSpot failed, so... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. It's not this. It's this. You can kind of see what programming is. You're telling the computer what to do, but you got to tell the computer the exact thing to do. So that's correct. So the last test is the what I call the non-sensical test. In the word, default, and then I'll call it the test letter in nonsense situation. M. So now it's when it's in the word. No, it's not in the word, but it's in the correct spot. Let's see, the list of tests are growing in this command line output. Xcode won't be any better. But yeah, if I go to Xcode now, I go to here. Nope, here. Test navigator. Yeah, we can do all these tests. Just run the letter tests. Oh, did you notice that it said something about on disk? No, Let me see if I can call that. Anyway, it looked like it was going to be faster because I'd already built it. Although it does say it's building. I don't know why it runs it in debug mode, but the other thing I realize is that when I execute the test here in the test navigator, this does not change. This is still just running the program, and that program is still the hello world from the base test. Okay, so it's testing, but anyway, we avoided all of this Xcode slowness by being on the command line. Might do that again tomorrow, and yeah, so we'll see how we'll see how far I get. And while I'm at it, yeah, guess row. Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I just saw the message that went by. It said it completed. Is it gonna be up here somewhere? Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so I noticed that they had these notifications here, a little badge here, but I'm gonna close this, clear these, and you can see here that these are all clean, and so yeah, so wow, 1 hour of programming, and I think we finished this guess row. We finished this letter. What we'll do tomorrow is we'll start to scope out the guess row, which is going to consist of an array of letters. We're going to at least figure out the printing of the row, and then the function to calculate the state of each of these letters. That's what's going to come tomorrow. We'll see how far we get with that. But thanks for checking this out, and we'll catch everybody next time.